I think this section is one of the easiest sections in your book. And I think that because it's pretty simple and you can look at it and tell what to do. These are called literal equations because they have more than one letter in them. And we have to solve for the specific letter that they have underlined in the equation. All of these problems came directly out of your book. I know I wrote it with a light marker. So if you want to see what problems they are, it's number 2, number 6, number 12, number 14, and number 18 on page 166. So if I want to get the A by itself, which is why it's got a little line underneath it, they want you to solve for A. That means A has to be on this side, because it's already on this side, by itself. So it can't have anything else on this side with it. So can you tell me, to separate the sides so we can see, what is on this side with A now that I need to get rid of? That's correct, it is the 13. So when I go to get rid of the 13, I have to do the opposite in order to get rid of it. The opposite of a positive 13 is a negative 13. So I have to subtract 13 from that side. On this side I have A. On this side I have what you write down is exactly what you see. We have B minus 13, so I write down B minus 13. You can't combine them. Can't make it simpler, nothing. But we've done what they asked because we got the A by itself. That's all we have to do is get the letter they have underlined by itself. Over here, they have underlined the X. So what's keeping the X from being by itself? The A. How do I get rid of the A? Well, right now the A is multiplied by the X. So I have to do the opposite of multiplication, which is division. So I divide both sides by A. When I do that, that cancels out, leaves me with X is equal to, write down exactly what you see. C over A. Number 12. Draw my little line. They want the J to be by itself. So what's keeping the J from being by itself? The 3 and the M. The 3 and the M are all one term. I can get rid of that all at one time because it's all one term. How are the 3 and the M connected to the J? By addition, which means we got to do the opposite and subtract it. That cancels that out over here and leaves me with J is equal to, write down exactly what I see. Negative 2 minus 3M. Down here, draw my little line. What's keeping the Z from being by itself? A negative 7p. So I have to do the opposite, which means I'm going to add 7p. If I add 7p to this side, I have to add 7p to this side. Makes that cancel out, leaves me with Z is equal to, over here I get 6 plus 7p, exactly what we see. This one's confusing. You got some stuff to do. You could sit there and distribute, and you can move stuff around, and before you get all carried away, let me give you a hint. We want to get the B by itself. What's the furthest thing away from the B? That negative 3. How is the negative 3 connected to the B? By multiplication, because you'd have to distribute it, which means you're multiplying. So I can divide this side by negative 3 and divide this side by negative 3. That leaves me with 2a minus b, because that's what's left over here, equals, write down exactly what I see, c over negative 3. Now what's keeping the b from being by itself? The 2a, right? 2a is positive, so I need to subtract 2a from both sides. out of room. Oh no. Must move so I can have more room. So when I go to write down what I see negative b still equals c over negative 3 minus 2a. I still don't have the b by itself. It's got that negative in front. So how do I get rid of that negative? I have to divide everything by negative 1.
Gotcha.
Everything.
Looks like potato salad.
So that gives me a positive b, because that'll cancel out, equals this negative and that negative cancel each other out. So that's just c over 3. And this negative and that negative cancels each other out, so that's 2a. Those are all the examples I'm going to do, but there were some key questions I kept asking over and over and over again. And those are the key questions you need to always ask you. You don't have to write down answers to these, but these are the key questions. What is keeping my letter from being by itself? And then, how is that connected to my letter? And then get rid of by doing the opposite. That wasn't a question, that was a statement. And then the last thing you need to keep in mind to help you out is to get rid of the thing furthest away first. Just like over here, we got rid of the 3 first. I don't worry about multiplying stuff out. Don't worry about making it more complicated than it already is. You could, but there's no need to. So instead of fretting over that, I go ahead and get rid of the thing that's furthest away first. Over here, I got rid of the thing that was furthest away first. It was the only thing there, but you know, furthest away. Deal with the stuff that's furthest away first. You get rid of things by doing the opposite. And you always ask yourself, what's keeping my letter from being by itself? And how is that connected to my letter? Because that's what tells you how to do the opposite stuff. So, for this section, classwork. Let me do it in a different color so it'll show up there. One through 9, odd. And we're talking about the practice exercises. And it's on page 166, because you like it when I tell you what page it's on. And then for homework, numbers 11 through 17, odd. that's it for this section. Bye.